I'm going to do a little experiment, and he's going to write 3 videos about the same game, which was playing between Aronian and Short a few days ago on chess.com. Very interesting game because it's English Open, and because I all my life play English Opening, this game is something that I can learn from. The first video I will give my opinion and my analysis of the game, and I already went through this game, wrote some notes on it, didn't look into computer analysis at all, didn't look into any databases. This is my opinion as it is. Opinion of 2000 ELO chess player. Probably there will be some mistakes, so I'm gonna write the second video in a few days when I will go over this game with Grandmaster Volkov and will show his opinion on the game. It will be interesting to compare my original analysis to the analysis that is corrected by a grandmaster who certainly understands much more than I do in chess. And then I will write the third video where I will turn on the computer and look into the databases. There will be a final analysis that will compare my original analysis to what Volkov thinks about it, and to the utmost truth that computer and databases give us. Okay, let's move forward. White is Aronian, black is Short. c4, e5. We have the main variation of English Opening. e5 is the most principal response to c4. Knight c3, d6. Here we can already comment on the move knight c3. I don't play knight c3 because it allows bishop b4, and this variation you can avoid if you don't play knight c3. It's not that black will be much better, but it's one of those variations that has, for black, has certain bite into it, because we immediately attack here the knight, and white immediately has to react in certain way. For example, queen b3, or maybe queen b2, the most natural reply, knight d5, and game can continue. Bishop e7, for example, or bishop c5, and so on. If white doesn't afraid or knows how to play in that variation, then knight c3 is a natural move. I usually play g3 and avoid this variation altogether, because now move bishop b5, bishop b4 doesn't make any sense. Okay, knight c3, d6. This is very poisonous variation, and I usually really kind of afraid people who play like that, because what is happening here is that black, he wants to push forward his pawns, f5, g3, knight f6, and essentially mate white king that's gonna castle short. This is a variation where white somewhat suffers, and that's why after d6 I usually try to avoid this kind of attack from the black, play d4, which is not the best move, and black equalizes by doing natural moves on one hand. On the other hand, there is no more attack on the white knight, on the white king. This is completely equal. Aronian, of course, didn't play d4 because that's not the best move. Knight f3. Knight f3 is natural move. Another possibility here would be, of course, g3, and g3 allows in the future to play maybe e3, put knight to e2, don't commit this knight right away. Knight f3 is okay. Next move, knight f3, short played f5, and you can see that his intentions are very clear. He wants to move the pawns on the king side and essentially mate white. g3, finally. Bishop e7. Bishop g2. Knight f6. d3. So now here white could have played a bit faster. It looks like e4 is not a threat yet, so maybe b4 is a move that creates counterplay a bit faster. Let's see what happens if e4 is played, something like this, and doesn't look like black gains a lot from this. Next move g3, we can attack the pawn on e4, knight is in the center, I guess c5, then simply knight c2. Everything looks okay for white. So I'm not sure why Aronian didn't play b4 right away, why d3 is a move that he chose. Nothing, of course, particularly wrong with this move. We open the bishop. Bishop now can go to g5. Next move, castle. Castle, everything is natural. This is a typical move of grandmaster prophylactic move. I'm not sure if this is completely necessary. It looks like he could have continued his plan of queen e8, queen goes to h5, as usually in these variations, knight to g4. But okay, that move is a bit out of a puzzle for me. It looks like premature waste, prophylactic that just waste tempo. Okay, now next move, b4. So b4 had to be played because it's how white get counter chances on the other side. Queen e8, okay, that's a move that I suggested to blue move early. This is in the spirit of, for example, Holland defense, where queen end up also sometimes on this side of the board, and knight g4 is played, and so on. Bishop g5. This knight plays important role in the attack on the white king, so sometimes we just want to exchange the knight. And also white position has a bit less of the space, so exchanging one piece makes sense. It also very often happens when we play something like bishop b2, is that this bishop stands on the way of rook on b1, and rook of b1 supports b pawn, and it looks like white has a bit more pieces than necessary to have everything harmonically developed. But in this case, bishop often should go actually to d2, and we are leaving this A, B, C lines open for rooks, for queens, so we can push pawns on this side, and bishop don't really stand on our way. Okay, but Aronian played bishop g5. More aggressive move. Knight d7. So in this case, there's not really, doesn't make any sense now to take this knight, because another knight goes to this place and we just exchanging bishop for a knight for no apparent reasons. So that's a logical move. Rook c1. This is a mystery to me why rook should be on c1. So definitely a healthy move, development move. We support the knight in the case that bishop will be shooting along this long diagonal. We in a sense support c5, but I'm not sure at all that this is typical or classical position of the rook in English opening when we want to push these pawns. It's either that Aronian don't even want to do this, meaning having this counterplay on this side related to pushing B pawn, for example, or maybe has something else in mind. But I would never play rook c1 in this position. Maybe continue developing pieces to like queen c2, which is played more often than bishop than rook c1. Maybe rook b1. We should check how to play against knight b5. Probably we go back with bishop and then push c6. Whenever it's possible, push a6. This knight has to go back and didn't achieve too much. Okay, but Aronian played rook c1, and I have to ask Volkov what he thinks about this move, and what is the purpose of this move, rather than removing a rook from the main diagonal where it sometimes gets under attack, and why not to play rook b1, for example. Okay, h6. Aronian goes back. Yeah, there's no reason to take this knight anymore, because the next knight goes to this place, and all of a sudden black pieces, I'm sorry, are very... he's left with good pieces, in a sense that every piece knows what to do. In this particular position, these two knights are redundant. They step on each other, and it's not clear what is the destiny of this second knight. Okay, next move, bishop 2, plays the move c6. Black plays in the spirit of just a second, c6, in Philidor kind of style, when pawns are up in front and all the pieces behind it. And this move also makes sense and very often played in this structure, and to stop white pawns from advancing, the structure usually is c6, a6, and rook goes to b8. It's very hard to break the structure if white starts pushing the pawn on the queen side. So c6, that is a move that I do understand. White continues in the Philidor spirit, they're also pushing pawn forward and almost all the pieces behind the pawns. This bishop doesn't have anything to do on this diagonal, so e6 kind of locks the bishop, but that's fine. We're also protecting f4 one more time. This is an understandable move. g5. Black executes his threat of pushing pawns on the king side. Knight e2. Okay, this is very interesting. We are protecting f4 1, 2, 3 times. There are two pawns that attacking f4. Aronian does very interesting regrouping. Instead of hurrying up with advances on the queen side, like with b5 for example, he's doing some strengthening of his own king, because now f4 is not readily executable. Also, in some cases this knight can go either to d4 or to f4 if those squares become available. Also, the regrouping enables bishop to be on c3, and this is very important now diagonal, because the king is there, and black position, if he tries to push pawns too early, becomes too open, and white actually can start attacking black king. And if bishop is on c3, it's definitely strengthens his ability for the attack. Yeah, but I consider this to be a very complicated move. I would never do this move myself. I'm not sure what to play in this position. d4 seems to be too early. e4 just plays in the black's hand, because he now pushes f4 without any problems. Maybe b5, but b5, I don't know. We are giving away important square. c5, and I can jump now to c5. All these moves have problems. Again, queen c2 is a possibility, but I actually have to memorize this maneuver, because this is very nice maneuver. Knight goes back, but it starts protecting very important square on f4 and opens bishop. Bishop now can go to long diagonal. Okay, Short decided to push e4. Now we have to count a few variations. One of the natural replies, of course, is this one, but after e4, knight probably goes here. We are giving away e4, e5 square. With d3 is weak. Black can strengthen this pawn, support this pawn with d5. I think that this particular position already favors black, and yeah, I don't see the threat, of course, is knight to e6 with all kind of forks. But if we continue knight to e5, it's not clear how white can successfully attack this pawn, for example. Maybe it's still dynamically equal, but this position I don't particularly like for white. So Aronian again played kind of in the Philidor style, and he creates this agglomerate of white pieces behind the pawns, and it looks like every piece performs some kind of role. Bishop attacks, pawn on e4, this knight is waiting to jump to d4 or f4, this bishop is ready to go to the main diagonal, this knight supports the pawn, everything is fine, and this is like a very like a spring, right, that is ready to uncoil, and every piece is okay. Besides probably this queen, the queen is better somewhere over here, maybe on b2, but okay, still has important role of kind of eyeballing h5, for example. So queen goes to h5, and we can exchange the queens. Once you exchange the queens for white exchange the queens, his position is will be much better. It will be better. Not much better, but it will be better. At least the threat of the mate from black will not be there. Okay, natural move. Knight goes forward. Okay, we executed. We improve the worst piece on the board, and also protect pawn on d3. That's a natural move. Now white decided to stick the knight to f3, and this is a pretty big threat, and you can counteract it only if you count a lot of tactics, I guess, and a lot of variations. You have to have a very cool head for white to actually know what to do in this kind of situation, because it looks like that black gonna have two pawns on f3 and e4, or maybe f3 and g4, and I guess maybe in the future a certain mating thread on g2. Okay, take, knight f4. So knight now seriously improves, can potentially jump here, controls very important square d5, so this hot is not possible, and of course we cannot take this pawn because of the check on f3, and black loses piece. this knight works against this one, so because they're attacking, they're protecting the same square. White position is cramped a bit, and if we would throw away this knight and this knight, black will be winning. Oh, I'm sorry, white will be winning. But you know, they are on the board. Knight f4, check. Now we can take either with knight or with the bishop. If we take with the bishop has to go to h1. Not good. So you have to take with the bishop. Which is one of the choices, I think. Take, and this position not for how it's in English, faint-hearted or something like this. Yeah, you have to know what you're doing for white to allow this kind of position, and to know that you are better. Okay, let's see how Aronian proves that this bind is not as scary as it might seem. The whole position actually is held by this knight on e4, because black cannot play bishop h3, for example. Very strong. This move is not possible. Okay, finally, queen c2, move that I wanted to play a long time ago, but apparently Aronian didn't think so. Okay, there was a bind here for the knight, so move very natural to go back. But if we recall that this king actually moves here and here, well, essentially this means that black wasted 2 tempi on moving king to h8 and then back. So something is not quite right here. Next move goes to g1, so that we again prevent black from forming strong chain of pawns. Black decided to stop white from, I guess, to open certain lines, and for some reason start playing on the other side of the board. So I'm not sure if this move is exactly what should have been played here. I don't know. There's very natural move, bishop f5. I'm not sure what's wrong with this move. Okay, so the tactics is here, so you cannot play bishop f5. Okay, now I see that. So how to strengthen this pawn? So maybe we can do something like this. Then this pawn is hanging. Well, you can see how there's not that many moves that black can actually play. Very interesting situation when the black pieces lost their coordination, and this and this pawn is under attack. And if bishop f5 could have been played, right, without any disadvantages, then we could have strengthened our pawn chain. But apparently this cannot be done. That's the reason. Yeah, if you think a bit more about this position, black are already short of moves. It's almost like nothing can move. Very, very interesting. Okay. E5. Go forward. based on the fact that if we take, queen takes, then I guess we can simply take this knight and this pawn, and eventually take pawn on f3, so we can go forward. Interesting. What other possibilities are available here? We can play a3, for example. a3 seems to be okay. Take. Yeah, a3 seems to be fine move as well. I'm not sure about taking it. Okay, but Aronian decided to move forward. Okay, d5 is available. Pawn moves up. Take. Okay, now we did win a pawn, and position of white is pretty strong. These 2 pawns are not supported by many pieces, essentially, and black lost the pawn. I think this is already the position that should be considered a lost position, but you have to still win it. Okay, rook is in black's house, right? Look intruded. Usually this kind of rooks can be attacked because they're not supported by pieces, but you have to calculate a lot to know that this rook can do it damage and not being a liability. Okay, this is natural move. Now you cannot do this because this obviously is protected. This piece is protected. This is brilliant, absolutely brilliant move. If you put this position on board, I would not know what to do. This is not available. This doesn't lead to anything. Queen has no lines to penetrate. This is complete brilliancy. Yeah, g4 is such a complicated move. Of course, it's all based on the fact that if it takes, then check over here, check over here, and we take the bishop. But you know, you have to find this kind of moves when you think that black has to attack the king, and all of a sudden you push pawns from the king. It's all based on tactics and calculations. And for me, I would be thinking long before I finally find this particular brilliant move. Yeah. Very pretty. So bishop has to go back, and now we sacrifice. That's pretty easy, by the way. That's not a very complicated move because the rook does so much damage that they can sacrifice, and of course we take very important pawn here, and you can say at this point that essentially the game is over, despite the fact that black has rook for a knight, but you know, 4 extra pawns, and everything else is just a matter of Aronian realizing this huge advantage. So I'm gonna stop here, and Let us maybe go back, and I will highlight the main things. I wouldn't play knight c3, g3. This is a very dangerous plan. White has to be very careful here. Knight f3. Everything natural, logical. Bishop g5. Rook c1. I have to ask somebody who understands chess better than I do why rook c1 was played. Brilliant move. Another one very strong and very interesting move. I have to learn this maneuver myself. To protect f4, because to prevent black from moving up, usually f4 is played, or you try to gain a lot of space on the queen side, not knight e2. Also have to learn this trick. Bishop is no longer a good piece in this kind of positions. And this move would take me like